Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the Orange Mic. This is Kirk Berry, and I'm here for another wonderful episode. And today we're going to enjoy one of the conversations with our special guest. And I'm going to introduce you to our special guest right now. And today we have a special guest who has a wonderful business. She is an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She is what we call a superior being who has conquered so much stuff in life and has become successful despite adversities. And I want to have her story shown on the Orange Mic and discussed on the Orange Mic so that we all can hear it, because I'm guaranteeing sure it's going to help somebody. All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Raine.
Hey guys.
This is Raine from Caught by Raine. I just love that name.
Thank you.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Well, we're going to have some fun.
Yes.
We're just going to talk about just anything, and just get the people to know who you are and what you do and what you've been through, and to talk about your story and to talk about from, I guess, the beginning, the struggles through the whole ordeal of anything. You can go any direction. There's no specific right or wrong way with this show. What we want to do is make sure that you get to be free and tell the story of what everybody wants to hear. All right? So, first off, what I like about having you on the show is that I'm a person that likes to have women be able to share what they go through.
Right.
The reason why for me, it's a little bit personal for me. I have 3 sisters, and I've learned so much from my mother, my grandmother, all my aunts, and my cousins, all the females in my family. They've poured into me and they've taught me so much. And it has come to a point for me as a youth mentor, as a coach and all that. I work with so many young people, and young girls and women are something that's very dear to my heart, and I want to make sure that they have a chance to get the right image, the right education, the right mentoring, so that they can be successful and individuals as opposed to what the society says.
Yes.
So with all that being said, I would like to have the chance for you to tell everybody who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
I'm Raine. And I own a business called Caught by Raine. I started the business in 2010 just as a hobby. Mm-hmm. I was employed with a piping company.
Okay.
I was an executive assistant.
All right.
I studied business. I got a diploma in business admin. And I was working for this piping company, and they laid me off.
Okay.
And I was just home trying to figure out what to do with my life. Mm-hmm. And I loved clothes so much, I started buying clothes.
Nice.
And just selling. Not even as a business, just as a hobby. Because I was so obsessed with clothing that if I couldn't wear it, I wanted somebody else to wear it. Because I was just like, I can't wear all this clothes.
Okay.
There's so much beautiful clothes and I can't wear all this clothes, but somebody else can wear it.
Definitely.
So I would buy the stuff and I would drive around in my car and I would sell it. But I didn't really think of it as a business.
Yes.
To me, it was just fun. It was just a hobby. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think of it as making extra money, I started going to school for medical admin during that time when I was off.
Okay. And
I studied medical, and which I'm now a medical administrator as well.
Nice.
But it still never, the selling of the clothes wasn't still not a business for me. It was just more for fun. It wasn't even about making money. It was about making women beautiful.
Nice.
I felt good when somebody else felt good. I felt good when somebody else would come to me and say, oh, that dress that I bought from you was so beautiful. I got so many compliments, and they were happy.
Yeah.
Right? And I kind of put my hobby on the back burner.
Yeah.
For a few years. And this was like around 2010 when I started doing this.
Okay.
About 2011, the idea came back to me very strong.
Nice.
But this time now, I wanted it to be a business,
Okay.
not a hobby anymore. I wanted it to actually be a business. So I started an online store
Okay.
called Raine Loves Couture.
Oh. Well, that was like the first name?
That was the first
Okay.
name. Raine Loves Couture and that's because I love couture and high fashion stuff. Like
Yeah.
anything that's high fashion, runway modeling. Like I tried to be a model when I was younger, but they said I was too short.
Oh, Lord. All those tall and
Yeah, they said,
models.
you have to be at least 5'8", 5'9", and
Yeah.
I was only 5
Whatever.
feet. So they're like, but you're good for commercials though. You wouldn't be good for runway, but we could use you for some commercials.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do commercials. I wanted to do runway because I
Yeah.
felt like, I'm short, but I have what it takes to
Of
be a
course.
runway model.
Tell them straight up.
So I was just like, okay, well, that dream, of being a model didn't work out. I did do some fashion shows though.
Oh, good.
When I was much younger.
Yeah.
I did do some inner city fashion shows, for designers, upcoming designers and so on like that. So I had the experience of the fashion industry.
Yes.
And then even when I finished doing my business course, I did work for a big designer in the city.
Oh, okay.
I was one of their administrative assistants, and I got to see the back end of this whole fashion thing, what it takes, the showrooms, when people had to order clothing for their stores like Zara or
Yeah.
H&M or those, those other stores.
Okay.
I got to see the back end of that, right? So that kind of exposed me to the business in a sense.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. So did anything with doing all that, did that help you to figure out exact direction you want to go with the clothing?
At first, I thought, well, I was going to do it online because I was working full time.
Okay.
So by now, I had finished my medical admin course, and I was working for a surgical facility, and I was working full time. And I had a partner. I had got a partner to work with me.
Okay.
But it didn't really work out because I don't think she had the same vision that I
Yeah.
had. And she
Yeah.
wasn't really interested in selling clothes.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah, and the way how I saw things, she didn't. So there was like a bit of a conflict. It wasn't like a big conflict, but we just had different ideas of what we wanted and the direction in which we wanted to go.
Makes sense.
So that was 2011, and I said, okay, you know what? I give up. This clothing thing is not for me. Maybe I shouldn't be selling
Yeah.
clothes. Anyways, I got married in 2012, which was a year after I decided to, say bye-bye to the whole clothing thing.
Yeah.
And in 2017, the idea of owning my own business and selling clothes came back to me again.
Yeah, good. Good.
And one of those nagging things where it would keep me up at night. I would go to bed and I can't sleep because it's just this pressing thing on my brain. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if something's keeping me up at night, that means then,
Yep.
maybe God wants me to do it.
Yep.
Because why would I be up thinking about this?
Yeah.
So I still kind of was just like, I struggled with it. Even though it was keeping me up at night, I struggled with it. But then I was married, and the marriage wasn't really going all that well, and
Understand.
I found myself depressed a
Okay.
lot. And I was working at the hospital.
Yeah.
I was working at the hospital, and I was actually working at 2 different hospitals, and I was very busy.
Yeah.
But even though I was very busy, I didn't feel fulfilled in my life.
Yep.
I felt like
I can relate to that.
something was missing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's missing? And I thought, well, maybe I should go back into clothing.
Okay.
And
Back to your calling, right?
back to my hobby, back to what makes me happy, back to seeing what
Yeah.
makes people happy.
That's good.
And I thought I didn't want to name it Raine Loves Couture. Because I really didn't want to be associated with the business. I
Okay.
didn't want people to see
the name of the business and know it's me.
Oh, I get it.
You know,
I get it.
I wanted them to see the name and be like, what is this about? You know, so I was just like, what could be a really catchy name
Yeah.
that I could think of? And at the time, me and my husband was really going through a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was an infidel.
Oh my. The truth comes out. It's all
He
good.
was an infidel.
Oh my. Woo. How do you accomplish that? That's
I
I
don't know.
think some different kind of skill.
Yes, dedicated.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so you know that could make a wife feel unfulfilled.
Oh, guaranteed.
And like something's missing.
Yes.
And you know, I kind of felt like I didn't measure up.
That's not cool.
You know, I kind of felt like, you know, really just down on myself, and just I
Yeah.
felt like I just needed to do more.
Yeah.
And in a sense too, I felt like I needed to do more for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I felt like, what was his dissatisfaction?
Mm.
Like, I mean, I was a good wife. At least I thought I was a good wife. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had everything that a man would want in a wife.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? I felt like I had enough education. I felt like, you know, like there was nothing missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that he should, you know, feel dissatisfied about.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to be a boss.
All
Maybe I
right.
need to own something.
Yeah, there
Maybe
you
because
go.
I don't own anything, you know, this man is just, you know, all over the place, right? So
Wow.
I thought, well, what would I name the company? And then I was just like, Caught. But I said, no, not Caught with a C, Caught with a
Okay.
K. Because, you know, the K represents my government name. And Caught because he's always been caught.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, if I'm gonna, you know, if I'm gonna catch anybody doing anything, I'd rather catch women looking pretty.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them beautiful.
All right.
And they get caught looking beautiful.
No, okay.
And they get caught being happy.
I like it.
And, you know, they get caught being graceful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, for me, that negative energy that I felt from that situation started becoming a positive thing for me. So I kind of started burying myself in this business, like, you know, of making people beautiful and feeling good about themselves. And when women felt good about themselves, regardless of whatever I was going through in that marriage, I felt good.
That's
Because
awesome.
a woman would call me and say, I wore this dress out and I got so many compliments, and all these people want to know about
Right.
your boutique, and, you know, they want to come and see you. And it was such a good thing because I used to have cameras set up in the boutique,
Yeah.
and I would have girls working in the store, and I would be watching them on the camera, and I would see customers come in and they'd be like, is Raine here? And the girl would be like, no, she's not here today. And they're like, okay, we'll come back.
Oh wow. So they ain't coming to talk to anybody else but you. That's
You
good.
know, and I was just like, why do they do that? You know, and I asked one of the customers, and she was just like, well, because when I walk into your store,
Yeah.
I get a different type of experience. I get
Ooh, that's
told
interesting.
that I'm beautiful. I get treated with respect.
Yeah.
You help me to pick out exactly what it is that when I wear it, you know, there is just so much compliments
Nice.
that maybe if I had chosen it myself, you know, it wouldn't, you know, have been like that. But because I got that help and
Yeah.
expertise from you, and you're very honest, like if
Ooh,
something
honest.
doesn't look good,
Honest is
I
great.
tell them straight up,
Yep.
that baby girl,
Yep. Yep.
I don't think that one would fit.
I can relate to that. I can totally relate because when I had a retail background,
Yeah.
me and my best friend Justin, we used to work in the store, and the store was mainly kind of like for men clothing.
Right.
But a lot of women came in to buy stuff for their significant other, and we would be like talking to them about, okay, what would you want to see your man? How do you want to see him? Like
Right.
the casual, the suit, or the business with casual, whatever, or the really casual.
Yeah.
And what do you want to feel when you're beside him, or when you're with him when he's in this outfit? And that would help us to pick out the outfit for them to make
Right.
them have a better experience with the clothing with their spouse or so. As well as when I was working in female stores, that was interesting because I come from a male's point of view too, and I done modeling for so many years, so my approach is not foreign.
Yeah.
So when we come in and they want to buy these jeans or whatever, and they have no business picking up these jeans, I'm like, let me take you over here.
Yeah.
and then they're like, no, I want this one. I said, okay, fine. All right, you pick that one. I'm gonna pick this one for you, and you're gonna try them both on. And then they're gonna start with yours. And they put it on and they're like, I think it looks good. And I'm like, okay, try that next one on. Then they come out like going, because they haven't seen themselves look that way, because they're so used to a style that they're used to, and it's not fashionable for them, their body type, skin tone sometimes, and all that stuff. And then when you try to help them with their appeal, that's now something they're not used to hearing. So that's what the women are hearing when they come in your boutique, that they feel beautiful from an outside opinion, and it's not biased. It's not fake, because you said you're honest. It's with love.
It's with love.
Sometimes it's a love with a heavy hand, but it's got to be said, because what would you rather? I'd rather I say to you in the store here before you buy it and leave here, than go out there and dress it up and go into an event and get laughed at.
Exactly, and I don't want
And
them to
they'll
go
come
to an
back to you.
event and it's like Caught by Raine sold me this.
Yeah. Oh,
Why would
wow.
Caught by Raine do that?
Yeah.
Right? So no.
They name all over the dues and
Yes.
thing, and
So I look at the customer as if they were myself. You know?
Yeah.
And what I wouldn't wear, I wouldn't want them to wear.
I hear that.
You know, I want them all to be beautiful, because at the end of the day, they're a representation of what my company
Yeah.
stands for.
Yeah.
Right? And what I stand for.
Yeah.
Right?
Big
So
time.
I can't
Big
just
time.
have them, wear it any and any.
Yeah.
And look in any sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have to represent the brand, which is Caught.
Yeah.
But now it's been changed to Caught by Raine.
Yes.
Because when I started, I was kind of angry and I was like, Caught.
Yeah.
But then my clients were like, Caught by Raine. They kept coming and they're Caught by Raine. So I said, okay, well, I will add the by Raine to it.
Yeah.
Even though I really didn't want to associate myself
Yeah.
with the brand.
Yeah.
But I look at it like Caught by Raine is a good thing, because now, what ended up happening was I was open for 10 months in 2017.
Okay.
I had opened a boutique.
Yeah.
But I had so much going on in my life
Yeah.
within regards to the marriage, and I was so bombarded with work because I was working at 2 different hospitals. And then I
Wow.
still kept trying to find more things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it got to the point where I wasn't even trying to impress the man anymore. I was just trying to keep busy. I was trying to occupy my mind, with all the voices that was just, floating in my head like a crazy person.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, so, I was just trying to occupy myself, but I was so burnt out.
Yeah.
So I ended up
Understand.
closing the store.
Mm.
I ended up closing, and after I closed, a lot of women were very disappointed.
Yeah, I can see that.
They would message me, they would call, why are you doing this, why are you not open, where are we gonna find this stuff, and and then I ran away for like 5 months.
Yeah.
Like, I left Toronto completely. I
Okay.
went to Vancouver for 5 months.
All right.
Circumstances got me back here.
Yeah.
But when I got back, they were like, you need to open this. Like, I had clients calling me and messaging me on Instagram like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to open the store. And then when I started saying the man, they're like, the man? Who cares about the man?
Yep.
You gotta do this.
Girl.
Yes, they were like, forget about that boy. You need to get your store, girl. Get your money. Get that store open.
I like how they
They're like,
rally around
no,
you.
but
Like,
I
let's go.
was so amazed.
Yeah.
Because I never thought that in a million years, women that I don't even know
Yeah.
you know, and I had people praying for me. I had women praying for me, saying, I'm going to pray for you. You don't need this man.
You don't need this man. Some said they're going to pray back the marriage together. I said, don't do that.
No, do that.
Pray for anything else.
Pray for a new husband.
What?
Don't pray for that man to come back. Don't pray for that. You know, that's stress you're putting on me, girl. Don't do that. So they're like, okay, we won't pray for the marriage, but we'll pray for the business. We'll pray that you know, get back into it because you're good at it. We saw that when you were doing it, you were happy, you know?
And that's important.
This is your thing. This is your calling. And they're like, sometimes we get married to people and they don't support us, you know, and they do things to disappoint us.
Yeah.
But you have to keep pressing. There are people out here that really liked your stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And I didn't hear that from one woman or two women. I heard it from a lot of women. So I'm like, if all these women are saying this, then I guess they really like me.
Of course.
And it started making me feel good about myself.
Yes.
Like, you know? It was just amazing that women, Black women, were so supportive.
Of course.
You know? So supportive.
Good.
Dresses were just in the pandemic. People out of work. These women were buying.
Yeah.
You know, they were buying. And I was just like, good. And I said, okay, fine. I'm going to incorporate the name because it wasn't incorporated before because I was working under a sole proprietorship.
Yeah.
Now I'm with a new partner, Karen Douglas. She enforces with me.
Good.
And yes, and she's very good at what she does.
Yeah.
And I need somebody like that because I'm the type of person I'll start a project and then, you know, like I do all kinds of things. You know, my head, I can't keep still.
Yeah.
I'm always wanting to get my hands into multiple things.
Okay.
You know, and I work at the hospital. I'm a career person. I love what I do at the hospital. But I'm always just looking for more and more things to do. And I feel like I need a partner to keep me grounded. To say, stay your course, girl.
Yeah.
Don't look that way. Look this way.
That's good.
You know, I need somebody. And she's really good at that.
Oh, that's good. Keep you straight.
Yep.
I like that.
She's really good at that. And I can't mess with her money because she's invested.
There you go.
So when I can mess with my money, I can't mess with her money.
Investors' money. You gotta make sure it's right.
I have to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do because then if I fail and she fails, and then that's a loss for both of us, and I wouldn't want that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go back to the name of the business, and I know you touched on the spelling of cot, but I want to finish the whole thing, and go ahead.
So cot is spelled Kaught, and the K represents my first name, Raine.
Yes.
And then Raine is the ending of my name, Caught by Raine.
Yes.
And at first, the name represented what I was going through with my husband, that he was always, being caught, being an infidel. And I figured, well, if I'm going to catch anything, I don't want to catch him. That was just stressful and just annoying. I would rather catch things that are beautiful.
Okay.
And, anything that gets caught by rain flourishes.
Ooh. Did you write that down? That should be one of your slogans. Or
probably should.
Honestly. Anything caught by rain.
Yeah, I'm just coming out of a storm, a disaster. I got caught in a storm.
So that's leading up to our next little segue here. So let's talk about the storm. Let's go a little deeper and get into the nitty gritty about relationships, and in this case, you don't want to say the word failed, like as if it's your fault or kind of thing, but it's a relationship that didn't work out. So let's talk about how you were able to see certain things happening, and then were able to approach them and to find ways to get through it. And it's just a journey from the beginning right through the mess and coming out of it, because this is a story I know will help everybody, not just women, because it'll help men too, but it's something that happens every day. So how would you kind of set it up in a way that, you touched on it before. Let's talk about the whole journey.
I think, especially when you're going into any relationship,
Yeah.
but marriage especially, I feel like you and the person, you kind of have to be on the same page. You have to want the same things.
Yes.
If you don't want the same things, it does not work.
Okay.
And I feel like both men and women need to really communicate what it is that they want when entering into a marriage or a long-term relationship.
So, in other words, be very, very intentional.
Be honest.
And honesty, yeah.
I was just talking to a friend the other day. She had posted something on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she was talking about, men and infidelity and so on. And she says, it's very hard for men, sometimes even women, to remain faithful. And, it's a choice,
Yes.
right? It's a choice that you have to make every day, right?
Guaranteed.
It's not easy, but I feel like that's a personal choice that you make.
Yeah, of course.
You make the choice to cheat. You make the choice to get into a marriage. You make the choice to not be into marriage. And I told her, I said, I would rather, before getting into a marriage, if a man knows that he has a problem keeping his thing between his legs, you obviously know that you have issues from before you got married to me. Before you entered into a relationship with me, you knew that you had issues.
Yeah.
Communicate that.
Of course.
Don't get into something that you know that it's like a trial and error thing for you. I'm going to try this and see if it works.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this and see if, I'll magically change.
Oh, my God.
It's like an experiment. People's lives are not experiments.
No, they're not. Oh, my goodness.
So if you know you have an issue,
Yeah.
communicate that with the person that you're getting married to. And as I said to her, maybe I'm okay with being a sister wife. Who says I wasn't okay with being a sister wife? But you did not bring that to me. You just decided that I'm going to marry you and then I'm going to cheat on you. And then I'm going to, tell you to accept it.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So I feel like going into any relationship long term, or if you're dating, be honest with the person about who you really are, so that they have the opportunity to make a decision whether they're gonna stick it through with you, or they're gonna, go and be with somebody else that has the same goals that they want.
Yep.
There are some people that are okay with that, and there are some people that are not.
I don't know. The few that's okay with it, I'm not sure about that.
There's some people that are okay with it.
I hear you. See, that's a really good way to put it.
Yes.
Because exactly. You see how you mentioned both, male and female. It's something that doesn't happen all the time, and it would be great to know that in the beginning, because it saves time, saves money, saves a lot of heartbreaks. And so, with that being said, now going through everything, now you knew that this was happening. I guess you can kind of touch on a little bit. Just get a little bit. Detail. How did you know it was happening? What did you see? What did you hear? And just touch on that a little bit.
Just the behavior was just shady.
That explains a lot.
I don't, and y'all know shady behavior.
Yeah.
They sleep with the phone under the pillow. It's always in the pockets. It goes everywhere that they go. You just know their shady behavior, right? And sometimes when people are being shady, it kind of leads you to be curious.
Yeah.
Even if you're not the curious type, but, you kind of like, why is this person being this way? And then you start to be like Inspector Gadget, and you go looking and then, you see, right?
Yeah.
But that's just a sad reality. It just starts with the shadiness. It starts with lies that, you constantly catch the person in. Like stuff that they don't even need to lie about.
Yeah, that's not cool. Not cool at all.
And it's, you could just communicate about who you are.
Yeah.
But I find that,
men and women, because it's not only men that do this, women do this too. I think it's just selfish. It's just an ego thing.
Yeah.
And they feel like if I tell the person, who I really am, then the person won't accept me.
Yeah.
And no, I probably won't accept, that. But I could respect what you cannot give.
Okay.
I can respect you for what you cannot give to me. Doesn't mean that I want to be in a relationship with you, but I will still respect you as the person that you are. I may still love you, but you just can't give me what it is that I require.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person. It just means that what the needs that I want and the things that I need to, to be feeling fulfilled, you just can't provide that.
And that's okay, because
okay.
You just can't.
Maybe I'm not the person that you're going to give that to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why should I have to deal with the heartbreak and the hurt and the abuse to find out that?
Ah, man.
Why do I have to go through that
There's no
find
reason
out?
for you to.
No reason.
No reason.
Especially if you're a good person to them.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Right? So.
My goodness. So, man, this gets a little bit sensitive for me because it's I hear these stories a lot. I have friends that go through a lot of these situations, and everyone has a different story.
Yeah.
But most of the mediums or media, or whatever happens during the time, is usually the same. It's the psychology or psychology. I guess the issues that comes with it, the pain, the hurt, the all that. It's always the same on that level.
Right.
It affects everybody differently. So let's talk about the specific effects that have. I know you mentioned about a time of depression and the in and outs of the business and everything. Let's talk about a little bit more on that dark space for you. How were you feeling? Besides, you were saying you didn't feel fulfilled, you didn't feel needed or wanted, or even beautiful.
I didn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
I didn't feel beautiful. I felt like, what is it? What's missing? What can I do?
Yeah.
Do I need more education?
Yeah.
What else can I? What can I study?
Yeah.
What can I do to let this man see me for, what he's not seeing?
Yeah.
And then when you see what he cheats with.
Oh man. Okay. So I gotta say something here. So as a man, I've been noticing this too. Hey man, listen. If you look at it like from a sports point of view, kind of thing, it's like you have a certain player on your team, but then you want to have another player on your team that's better, and then usually you go and get a better player, like actually better player. And then you replace your team, and now my team's good. But then they do the opposite, and then what were you doing? Why even go that way?
If he had gotten a player, I would be like, okay, I see why you do what you do, boy. But when you're
be
not,
hurt,
I'd be hurt, of course. But I'd be like, oh, girl, you need to step your game up, but when I see
that's
the
horrible.
things, it's like
You have to call it things, exactly.
Things. Okay.
Can't call it anything good. It has to be things.
I went through a point of depression. I was very depressed. Constantly wanting to just keep myself busy.
Yeah.
Just to get my mind off of
help your mind.
things.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't busy, I felt like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Like I literally felt like I'm gonna lose it.
Oh my goodness.
There were days I was suicidal. Like I really thought like I should just end it, but then I'm like, I have 2 kids. I can't let this man, push me over to the edge.
It's not worth it, right?
But then it started affecting not only my mental state, but emotionally, physically, and health-wise, I wasn't doing good.
Yeah.
I started having a lot of palpitations because I wasn't really sleeping. I wasn't really resting. My mind was constantly going.
Yeah.
And I would feel like I'm going to have a heart attack.
Man.
Constant panic attacks and anxiety attacks. And, I would get people be like, you talk to
certain people, well, my friends were very supportive.
That's good.
But when you talk to like older women,
Yeah.
like your mother, or I used to go to his mother, he would be like, why are you letting this boy stress you out? I never used to let no man stress me out. Why would you want a man to let you commit suicide?
Oh, man.
It's like, there is no form of understanding here. It's just like, you're too soft.
Wow. So even the whole being able to have a gentle hand to kind of guide you, that wasn't happening.
My mother and my mother-in-law was not very gentle with the whole situation. They're like, you need to just get yourself up out of this funk. You either deal with the man and the cheating,
Yeah.
or you move on.
Yeah.
But don't be you're trying to commit no suicide.
Yeah.
No man never let them do this, and you're so weak, and so
Oh my
after
gosh.
talking to them, it's just like, man, you feel worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, maybe I should really kill myself.
No, man, no. People don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh gosh, yeah. So it was just like, okay, there's no help there
Yeah.
from the two matriarchs
Wow.
that should be telling me what to do.
Yeah.
So, and there were times friends didn't even know what I was going through. Like when the marriage ended, they were like, "What? What happened?" No one knew my business. They were like, "I thought everything was good."
Yeah.
Because I kept it all in, and I
Okay.
think that's what was kind of like really pushing me to that point
Yeah.
of suicide, because everything was just like bottled in,
kept it in.
and I was playing this perfect wife with this happy marriage, and all was well, and all wasn't well. Things were falling apart, but everybody thought things were, good.
All good.
And they didn't know things were bad until I took a flight to Vancouver.
Like, where did she go?
I
And
couldn't
why?
take it no more. I was just like, either I'm gonna stay here, or we're gonna be on the news.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man.
Somebody's dying.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say that on camera.
What? It's on camera. But you're lucky. You're
Yeah.
good. You're on
Yeah,
the news
so I
for
was
different
just
reasons.
like,
Good reasons.
Let me just get out of here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told him
Yeah.
when I was leaving, I was just like, you better let me leave.
Yeah.
It's for the best of us.
Yeah.
I just don't think he understood. He was just like, you know what? I'm throwing the marriage away, and I'm leaving him, and I'm
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
him
yeah.
out, and I'm like, boy, if I stay here, somebody's gonna die.
Oh my God.
Somebody's gonna die.
Well, I'm glad you were able to recognize it and
Yeah.
verbalize, act on a better positive option, which is cool.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
when you start getting those thoughts, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, maybe I should kill myself, maybe I should hurt him. Like,
Man.
it's just time to just say no. No, it's not worth it.
No, it's
right?
not.
No,
Definitely not.
no.
Okay. Man. That's good. So, all of that, there's you moving away for those few months, that's great. That's part of that whole, I'm taking charge of
Yes.
this and making this better for me.
Yes.
So, on the brighter side of things, coming out of all of the whole relationship and everything, how were you able to break free and to see better days, and how do you feel about that? So that's so somebody else can feel that too.
I'm the type of person, regardless of how bad the situation is, I try to role reverse.
Good.
I try to put myself in their
helps.
position.
It helps.
Like, if I were him, like, what am I thinking? Why am I this way? Just so that I don't hate the person,
Yeah.
I tend to role reverse.
Okay.
And I've always been like that. I try to look at the brighter side of things, no matter how bad the person has been, no matter how messed up. And I remember saying to him one day,
Yeah.
when I got back here, I said, I accept you for who you are. And he's looking at me like, what? She's being weird. And I'm like, I accept you for who you are. Because
Yeah.
I realize you can't give me no more than this.
Yeah.
What the idea of the marriage that I thought that I would have had with you, that's not something that you can give me.
Not capable.
You're not capable
Yeah.
of it. And it's like, maybe you want to give it to me. Like, I think to myself, like, maybe this man really wants to give me that marriage,
Yeah.
but maybe he just can't
Right.
because it's just not in
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
So do I hate you for something that you cannot give?
Man, that's deep.
I can't hold that against you.
No.
But
I can love you from a distance. I can. I don't have to hate you for it. You know, I mean, you put me through hell.
Oh man.
You made me a stronger person.
Yeah.
And I think because of him, I even have a better relationship with God.
Oh,
Because
that's awesome.
Yeah, because I find that, you know, when you're in pain, everybody cries out to God when they're in pain.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like on the, you know, you have one foot in, one foot out. You're kind of on the borderline with God. You're
Yeah.
like, sometimes you talk to God, sometimes you don't talk to God.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like God will put you in a position where you have to
Yep.
call out to Him,
Come on
where
now.
you have to recognize that He is in control and
Yeah.
He exists.
Yeah.
And sometimes so I feel like, was this man your God? Because you were doing everything to try to please this man.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
you wanted to be a better person for this man.
Yeah.
You wanted to have the best of education for this man.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do everything for this man. What are you doing for God?
Interesting.
You know? And with that relationship, you know, falling apart, I developed a really close relationship with God.
Nice.
Very close relationship with God.
Nice.
Right? And I feel like maybe if that relationship didn't fall apart, I wouldn't even really know who God is. I would say I know God, but I really wouldn't know who God is. So that really helped my relationship with God.
I really like that. That's really good. See, that's you can find that time and find the energy to direct your desires to God, as opposed to, you know, the negative side of things, where it could
Right.
be, you know, subs could be more versus abuse, and like you mentioned about suicide, all that
Right.
kind of stuff. So I commend you on that. That's good. So life is good now, right?
Life is good. You know, one thing God teaches us is that He's love.
Yeah.
You know, and I started to look at just the marital relationship,
Yeah.
and no matter what we do to God, He loves us
Unconditionally.
unconditionally, right? Regardless of whatever we do, He forgives,
Yeah.
right? And for me, this situation taught me the love of God.
Okay.
Because I had to learn to love a person, even though he treated me bad,
Yeah.
he cheated on me. I had to learn to love him. I had to learn to love him for who he is.
Yeah.
Look beyond his faults.
Yeah, yeah. You starting to preach now, girl.
Not saying that we're gonna get back together,
Okay. We already established that. I think we're good.
but you can still just love them for who they
Yeah.
are and let them go on their way
Yeah.
and let them find themselves and hopefully don't hurt nobody else.
Yeah.
You know, and stop hurting themselves, because at the end of the day, they're hurting themselves,
Themselves,
too.
yep.
They might not think that they're doing that, but they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. I like that.
Well, Caught by Raine, we're renovating a new space.
Oh, okay.
So we're not only going to be online, like right now, the online is being updated.
Yeah.
But come February, well, the space is already there. It's being renovated, but we're looking to launch
Yes.
for spring.
So definitely we're gonna be able to
Walk into the store
okay.
and purchase.
Yeah, that's good.
Not just online, but
Good.
in the boutique.
That's good. I'm glad that we can be able to, you know, promote it on the show as well.
Yes.
And we get to tell people about it and stuff. You know, I would have loved to know if there was a men's section, but I don't know if that's
I
going to
get
happen.
a lot of that, and it's coming. It's coming. I get all the men saying, "Why is it this woman? What's wrong? Like nobody cares about us." And I'm just like, "I care. I'm coming. I'm
Right.
I'm looking about it."
Yeah.
My sister had passed away from cancer
God
in
bless her
March.
soul. Bless her soul.
And I'm also looking to launch her line, as well as my partner's sister passed away from cancer too. So
Oh,
we both
wow.
have something in common.
Yeah.
Both our
Respect.
sisters passed away from cancer. So we're going to be doing a line called Latanya and Camille Forever.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just
in their honor.
to commemorate
That's
their honor.
beautiful. That's real beautiful. I respect that completely.
Yeah.
I like that. I really hope that we get to, you know, hear about that more in the future.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You definitely be on the show again for sure.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful conversation here with Raine. Make sure you let the people know who you are, where they can find you.
Raine, Caught by Raine on Instagram and on Facebook.
Is there an address yet that you're able to give out for the boutique yet, or do you want to
There
wait till?
is an address. It's on the Instagram, but if you go there right now, it's been renovated.
Yeah, of course. Like, when the time comes, you know.
Yes.
We'll, of course, have the information available for our viewers to see that and be able to check you out. And when the store has the grand opening and everything, the boutique,
Yes.
you'll be able to come down and
For
check it out.
sure.
Maybe we could do a show there.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, maybe we can.
That would be good.
Very good. So, Raine, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely going to be with us in the future. We know
Yes.
that as often as possible. I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today on the Orange Mic. I want to thank you. This has been a wonderful conversation with Raine. And make sure you you follow her. See, I was about to get caught myself. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, Caught by Raine. Caught spelled with a K, and by Raine with an E at the end. Okay, so make sure you follow her and you check out her outfits and check out the wonderful boutique, couture outfits that are available, and make sure you purchase from her. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Orange Mic, and we will hope to see you real soon.